Hi, this is Dr. Vince Polonzi. I have a lot of people that come into the office and they're just complaining and complaining. Well, what I want to tell you and what I want to tell them is get that junk out of your mouth. If you're addicted to fast foods, if you need convenience, sure we need convenience. We got to be real. We can't make every meal on our own. But if you're eating a lot of junk food, then don't blame everything that's going wrong with you on that junk food system. You need to take care of yourself, like we've talked about in several of the videos here. Junk food is junk food. It doesn't do you any good, and it does you a lot of harm. One of the big things it does is it changes your biochemistry so you don't have control. You don't have control, you don't have energy, you feel sick. If you've got a lot of physical complaints, then start taking some responsibility. Get away from that junk food. If you'll simply start eating better food, and I mean eating food that's closer to its origin, you'll see a big difference. The junk food is killing you in a sense. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, right? It doesn't happen every French fry that you're going to feel it. But if you eat a lot of junk food, if you're eating a lot of snack food, and it doesn't constitute foods that are nutrient dense, that have what you need, then not only are you going to crave those things even more, but it's going to cause you problems. It's going to cause you problems like fatigue. You're not going to feel very good. You may think you feel good, but not as good as you maybe at one time felt. You're going to have a problem with controlling impulses. You're going to have a problem with controlling your emotions. You're going to have physical problems. You're going to have mental problems. And it stems from the junk food. It's not anything else but that. It comes down to your diet in so many cases. So get that junk food out of your mouth and go get something decent to eat. If your house is full of junky food, then clean it out and start over. You've got to do something now. Because if you don't do something now, then you're coming into my office with all these autoimmune disorders. Systemic lupus erythematosus, rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren's. There's a list of diseases. We call them autoimmune diseases. It's the body out of control. You're going to psychologists, psychiatrists, because you can't control yourself. Because your moods are up, your moods are down. It comes down to what you're feeding yourself. Your genetics are controlled by what you eat. Your body's controlled by what you eat. You're made up of what you eat. We talked about this before. Why is it when you eat cow, horse, pig, whatever you eat, that you don't become that animal? Well, it's because your body breaks down the protein and the other nutrients and reassembles them as you. So what are you assembling yourself with? We know that your body regenerates itself. So you're not the same person now that you were even a year ago. Some tissues are turned over in a matter of days. Your stomach lining, for example, your liver. So if you're not giving the raw materials to your body that it needs, you're becoming somebody else. And you're becoming somebody else that you might not be enjoying being that person. The truth, you are what you eat. There's probably not many other true sentences like that. If you're eating a lot of junk food, you're building a body that cannot function. So turn it around. What most people do, they wait until they have something that can be diagnosed. Unfortunately, that's what our whole medical system has become.